Right now it is 2:30 p.m. and I have to cook a lasagna for 3 of my friends that are going to be coming over at 7 p.m. And I have two problems. Number one, I only have time and ingredients to make this once, so I cannot mess up. I overcooked the meat. And two, I have never made a lasagna before. Like ever. It is way too late to back out now because I've already promised lasagna and that I wouldn't disappoint. Why did I say that? This means that I only have 4.5 hours to cook something that I have never cooked before for people that are gonna be coming to eat it with high expectations. Yeah. I should get started. I can pretty much say that I didn't have any of the ingredients. Now, obviously, I didn't pull this recipe out of my ass. I searched up one of the most viewed recipes on YouTube because for me, more views equals more flavor. So this is the 10 million view lasagna recipe from Sam Eats. Always be careful when doing this. Chopping the onions was supposed to be an easy part until they declared war on my eyes. It felt like I was getting stabbed by vegetable knives straight into my eyes. It's getting into my eye. Usually when I cook, I'm immune, but this time they were determined. I just want to be done with this. I'm not even gonna do the little across thing. I'm just... Okay, fine. I will a little bit. Don't ever use your knife without looking. Oh no, it's happening again. I'm only gonna do 1.5 because I feel like that's already... I feel like that's a lot of onion already. I feel like they're too big. So this is done. I probably should have been cooking the meat while I was doing that, but I don't want to burn it somehow. Although that did eat up a lot of time, almost half an hour. He does start by throwing some bacon on there. We are also gonna do that. I should have turned this on a while ago. You guys are gonna like this angle. In his recipe, he says minced pork and minced beef. I couldn't find ground pork at Walmart, so I was like, oh, I guess I'll just substitute it for ground chicken. And then I rewatched his recipe again once I got home and realized that he didn't use ground pork at all, ever. I don't even know if ground pork is a thing. What he was using was bacon. That's his minced pork. I'm not just gonna keep this and do nothing with it. So all three are going in. If that's not the best lasagna you've ever had, I don't know what is. I'll be honest, this smells crazy right now. So good. Okay, so this has been cooking for I don't even know how long, but look how nice and brown some of those edges are. This also smells incredible. It's... if the lasagna tastes how this smells, we're good. The problem is that it's already 3:51 and I think I'm making good time, but I can still mess it up at any point. Time to get this out. Some olive oil. I overcooked the meat. It's not like the worst thing ever, but the crunch is a bit crunchy. You know what I mean? It'll be fine. From here, he's already adding, starts throwing in the red wine, blah, blah, which by the way, I don't have. So he just starts adding everything onto here to then make the red sauce. I don't think that's enough meat. I really don't think that that is enough meat for that to then somehow fill in that. I'm gonna do the other half of the ground beef and the chicken because I would rather there be too much meat than not enough meat.
Balls.
Hopefully that will save from this being just super, super crunchy, because it is definitely a little bit overcooked. So now that this is sauteed and softened, I'm gonna save it for a little bit later. Got the second batch of the beef and the chicken going, and time is just flying by. I need it to slow down, please. Also, my phone is now charging, so the audio is gonna sound different because of that, because the microphone I use has like a little plug into the bottom, so what are you gonna do? This is the point that this meat has gotten to now. It still has maybe a couple crispy edges here and there. I'm not burning that again. So that is just as far as it's gonna go. I'm gonna take it out now. What is going on? That is a much more reasonable amount of meat, if you ask me. So I feel like we're actually gonna be able to fill this up. The beef. I don't know how much to put in, honestly. I feel too lazy to go back to the instructions, so I'm just gonna do like 60% of the bottles. It feels like a good, like a good amount. Beef stock. And I'm gonna add a lot of salt and pepper, since so far I haven't added salt or pepper to any one of these things. It is already 4:30. 45 minutes from now, it's gonna be 5:15. An hour from then is gonna be 6:15. And then on top of that, I have to then put it back into the oven after everything is done, the lasagna together, and bake it again. I thought I was making good time, but now I'm actually starting to doubt it. And I also completely forgot to preheat the oven, so I'm gonna start preheating it now. I'm gonna put that off to the side for a moment while I continue preheating the oven, and I'm gonna get started with the white sauce because time is just rolling by. So for the white sauce, it says here that I need 70 grams of butter, which is about 1 1/4 of that. I'm not gonna get super specific with it. I feel like I'm gonna make a mess. More butter. Oven is done preheating. I think I can put this with the lid onto the oven, right? Right? Along with the flour. Just for the record, this only kind of resembles how his looked when he was doing it, so I'm actually kind of scared that I did something wrong. Okay, so I don't know what I was expecting, but the thing that I put 70 grams of flour into tastes like flour. This is just not working out. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad, but it's gotta go. I'm not putting that in my first lasagna that my friends are gonna come taste. No, that's just not happening. It tastes, I don't know, it just tastes like flour. It's gotta go. I'm so sorry. I feel bad, but you know.
Half a cup or 125 grams of whole milk ricotta.
I searched up Papa to come save me. I wanted to know if the white sauce was like a mandatory thing that I needed to do or not. So he is actually not even doing the white sauce. He's just doing ricotta, which I also don't have. You're sad. I'm sad. The camera's sad. Listen, it just is what it is. So I'm gonna do mozzarella because either way, I'm not even a fan of ricotta like that. Layer of the beef, layer of mozzarella, layer of, the pasta, right? Also, it is 5:03. So I have 2 hours. That still has 17 minutes left. So the first 45 minutes have gone by and this is what it looks like. So now the recipe says to take the lid off and then put it back into the oven for about like an hour or two. It is 5:20. I'll leave it up until 6, I guess. So I have at least an hour to layer. It has only spent about an hour inside of the oven, and I feel like it looks really good already. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take it out and just get started with the next part, which is gonna be the pasta. Yeah. By the way, it is already 6:12. So as soon as these things are done, This is going straight into the oven, like immediately, until they get here. I still don't know how this is gonna work out. I'm so tired. Can I do all of them at once? I guess I'll just try all of them at once. I'm starting to think that maybe that was a bad idea. Alright, so let's see how far just that gets us. Something is telling me this lasagna is not gonna have many layers. And just like that, the process was done. The only thing left was for it to finish baking, because at any moment now, they would be coming in through that door. And one question still remained. Would it taste good?
Pero dale un cuchillo. No está bueno. Pero déjame cogerlo bien de adentro. Crunch seals it out.
Why was that so crunchy? 1 to 10 with your fingers.